Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. So, how did y'all feel about this star? Good, bad, yes, no, maybe so, prepared, unprepared? How do y'all feel? Most of the time, students want to unload on me after the star and tell me everything that. I've gotten that feedback. So, the people in my classroom are telling me that there was stuff on there that they were worried that they'd have to know, and then it wasn't even on there, right? Um, so, yeah, that's a lot of times what seems to happen is we prepare for something and we think it's going to be something, and then it shows us we get other questions that we weren't necessarily expecting. So, um, easier than expected, horrid. Huh? That doesn't sound good. Um, so easy that I'm scared I failed. No, this is, and people saying easier than I expected. So, it is an easier test. I truly believe that. Like the passing rate for English is usually below 70% or around 70%. The passing rate for a US history star in a typical school year is around 95%. Um, so I think it is the easiest test that you guys take in high school. So if you felt like it was too easy, that probably just means that you're prepared and you did fine. So I wouldn't worry about that. Um, and honestly, I very rarely have any students who fail this test that show up to class every day and that do most of their work. I'm not even saying all their work, most of their work. And this class in general, most of you, not all of you, but most of you have been pretty consistent with showing up and getting most of your work done. So I have confidence that most of our scores should be okay for that reason. It'll be an interesting year because obviously it's a much different looking school year than other years. I don't think we're going to have 95% passing like we have in the past. It's just a different year. It's probably going to be lower than that. But um, if you prepared at all, I really, really think that you're okay with it. But it's crazy because everyone's told me that a lot of the stuff we reviewed wasn't even on the test. And I don't know what's on the test. I don't get to see it. I have no idea what you guys saw the other day. But people seem to think it was a lot of random questions that we didn't cover as much, which is interesting because I covered everything and we focused on review that are considered readiness standards that the state of Texas says that we need to review. So that's what we did. I gave you all questions from all of our unit tests. Everything was star questions from the past. So that's what we can do to prepare us is just look at what Texas says we need to do, look at our past questions and hope that it will be similar, but they throw us surprises every year. So um, sometimes the questions can seem kind of random and out of nowhere, but hopefully there weren't too many of those because you could miss, I think, 28 questions and still pass it. So again, most of you, if you've been paying attention at all, should be okay. At most, you miss five or six. At most, okay. Good, good. The overall feedback is that it's been easy. Maybe not the exact questions that you guys expected, but that it's easy. So that is good to hear. Um, so a couple other things about the STAR test, just FYI. Um, just because this has been a hard or not necessarily a hard month, but definitely a jam-packed month of doing a lot of review and stuff like that. Kind of as your summative grade, like your test grade for working so hard on review throughout the month is getting a free 100 for a test grade just for showing up for the star. So that's actually reflecting in your grade book already. And it's obviously helping a lot of people. A free 100 just for showing up is pretty awesome, and I think it's only one. Ooh, yeah, it looks like it's 3 people in here, and none of those 3 people I actually think are on the Zoom call, but it's only 3 people in this class that did not show up to school to take it. And looking at the Zoom call, it does look like 100% of you that are on here are on the list of people who took it. So congratulations, you all got a free 100 for that. So that should help your grade. So I guess I don't need to tell y'all about makeup days because y'all were all here to take it, but they are giving some makeup days for the STAR test next week. So if I am missing anyone and if you did not take it, make sure that you ask me about that. So the big question that I know we're all curious about, what's happening the rest of the school year? Well, I don't have an exact timeline, but I have a rough timeline of what's going to be happening. This week we're just kind of chilling / getting missing work complete. So yesterday when we had an asynchronous day, you should have gotten on to Schoology, entered your name for attendance, and then you should have seen that I told you to work on missing work, and I have a missing work folder published. Well, that's our agenda yesterday. It's our agenda today, and then it's going to be your agenda tomorrow to get any missing work complete. Now, the good news is that this class is more on top of it than some of my others, which means that a lot of you have no missing work to complete, which is really awesome. That means that you pretty much get to have most of this class free and you get to have tomorrow free. Now, tomorrow, it is, in case you didn't know, another asynchronous day. We're not going to be getting on Zoom because of freshman biology testing. So what that means is that it's just on your own to do the missing work. Today, if you have missing work, I'm going to keep you behind on the Zoom call and just put us in breakout rooms, kind of talk a little bit, check in, see what our grade is, make sure that you're aware of what you need to do so that you can get on track to getting that done. And then the rest of you who don't have missing work will be dismissed, and then tomorrow you'll just have to enter your name for attendance, and then you'll have a free day for this class. So that's this week. Starting next week, we're going to have a project that's going to take us a week or two. That project is going to count as the written portion of your finals. So that's how that project is going to factor into your grade. So instead of coming here on the day of the written final and taking it, that's going to be the project. And when I say written final, I don't mean the final itself, just the written portion of it. You still have to show up that week of finals and take the multiple choice part. But that project's going to be the written portion of the final. And we're going to be working on that in the next couple weeks. Just really kind of, I mean, you obviously need to be here and apply yourself, but it's not going to be as fast paced. Like the requirements for day to day are going to be much less than what it has been because we kind of have time now for the first time this school year to take it a little bit slower. So that's what we're going to do with this so that we can get good work from you guys and not overwhelming you, especially after a hard month. So there's that. And then after a couple weeks from now, we're going to probably spend most of those days reviewing for the multiple choice part of the final. And then that next week is going to be the finals themselves. So we have 4 weeks left after this week. So you can expect a couple weeks of project, a week of review, again, more review, I should say, and then a week for finals. Not even really a school week, just, those half days where you take the finals that you need to take. So that is the agenda. Are there any questions about what to expect or anything before I move on? The upcoming star dates. I think we're done with it tomorrow. I think all the STAR testing is done tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be freshman biology, but we've already tested English 1, English 2, US history, algebra, so the only other one is biology that's tomorrow, and then there will be some STAR makeup days. For finals, do we have to go on campus? No, we shouldn't have to go on campus for finals. It's going to be this same type of administration that we had last semester. So only have to come on campus for the STAR test because that's what the state of Texas said that you had to do. Any other questions? Okay, so I just want to make sure that we are all aware of where the missing work folder is, because we just kind of have a lot of folders at this point from all the units that we have done. So hopefully you saw it yesterday, but there is a missing work folder underneath that STAR review that we were doing called Force Cycle Makeup Work. And it lists everything, as well as giving you a discussion board where you can tell me which assignments you've completed. So it's there, and I can easily update your grades. And so you should look on Hack and be aware of what you're missing, and then come to this folder and complete whatever you're missing. So that, like I said, she should have done this yesterday, but it's definitely on the agenda for today and tomorrow as well. Now, I'm going to dismiss a lot of you guys, and I'm dismissing you if you are currently passing and you have no missing assignments. But with that said, some of you that I'm dismissing, like, you have no missing assignments and you're passing, but you also are like, some of you might just be passing with like a 75. And maybe you want to get that grade up to an 85, or you just want to get it up a bit. If that's the case with you, like, you're dismissed from the Zoom call because you're passing and you have no missing assignments, but you can still be working on, taking second attempts at quizzes if you didn't take those, or you can do the Modern America retest, which is in that folder, and take that retest to try to get your grade up that way. So I am dismissing you, but you still have that opportunity to get your grade up if you are unhappy with where it is right now. So just be aware of that. And then if I do not call your name, we're going to stay behind. And like I said, just put us in breakout rooms and kind of catch up on how we're doing and make sure you're aware of what needs to be complete. So anyways, the following people are free to go and have free time, or either work on retest. It's up to you, but you have the rest of this time to do what you need to do. And then for tomorrow, just make sure to log on to Schoology for your attendance. Those people include Esmeralda, Ryan, Caesar, Sophie, Katrina, Emmanuel, Tyler, Adam, Annabelle, Suzanne, Francisco, and Audrey. Like I said, you guys are awesome. Like, this class is on top of it. So all of you, if I just called your name, you are free to go. And if I did not call your name, it means that the gradebook is currently reflecting that you're missing at least one assignment. And so you need to look on Hack and see which assignment that is. And if you feel like there's an error and that you've done it, but that I haven't updated it, or you haven't told me that you've done it, let me know in the chat so that I can fully update your grade. But otherwise, I'll be putting you in breakout rooms shortly. Just let me know if you have questions about what you need to do, and I'll come around and visit each one of you to check in. So it looks like, yeah, Esmeralda, I said your name. Ryan, I said your name. Tyler, I said your name. So all of you are free to go.